Okay, so I'm going to try to explain my near-death experience. And there's no simple way to explain this. Somebody inboxed me asking me, and I noticed that for some topics, many of us do not want to comment in public for people to see. Topics about religion, spirituality, politics. I don't know why it's so taboo, why everyone is afraid for other people to know what your perception is. But anyway, for me, I don't care because my perception is my perception, and that's what I stick to. Okay? So yes, I had a near-death experience, but when it happened to me in 2021, I had no idea there was a label for it. I did not know what happened. I did not tell anybody for about a month because I thought I was going absolutely crazy, cuckoo. And my mind and my egoic self kept beating me up, like, listen to me, that was a dream, that did not happen. You're stupid for thinking anything otherwise. But I think what God did after my near-death experience was actualize and have me experience other spiritual apparitions, other spiritual experiences that solidified, and it made it so real that my mind and my ego self now understands, shit, this is real, this is happening, I am a spirit, and I can actually connect directly to God. And that was that. All right. So anyway, on the morning of my near-death experience, it just happened in an instant. But coming out of my near-death experience, I realized from what the angels told me that this was being set up from months before it happened. So it was supposed to happen. I was supposed to get the experiences that I got, and it was as if it was a marker that was set up in the road of my life journey. If I should ever hit rock bottom, at this point, this is what is going to happen. These are the person I'm going to meet. This is what I'm going to learn. These are the things that I will remember. And that came like a flood, because I was like, oh shit, I am spirit having a spiritual experience in a beautiful body. So to the day of the near-death experience, I was in the shower. A regular day. Everybody left. I was home alone in Brooklyn, New York, and I felt a tickle in my throat. That was it, just a tickle. And I tried to clear my throat, and I think I coughed. I don't remember if I coughed or if I sneezed, but whatever I did, my airway closed off completely. And I tried to swallow, and I tried to catch another breath. There was nothing. And I was in the shower. I didn't have any clothes on. Obviously, the first thing I did was panic. I panicked the bejeebies out of Israel and back. I panicked. I think I probably pulled the shower curtains down because I couldn't catch breath. And I went out into the living room. I don't know why I got out there, but anyway, I went out into the living room, and I was still in a panic. And I can't tell how long this happened because it felt like seconds. But I remembered to myself, there's something here to save me. I just didn't know what it was. And I was in a hissy fit, and I remember the last thing I said to myself, oh shit, my sister and my brother-in-law is going to come find me naked and dead on this damn floor. I was so annoyed, and that was the last thought I remember having. And I don't know how to explain it for you to understand, but it's as if I closed my eyes, there was darkness, and then there was light. There was like this big ass door, and there was nothing but white light. And I stepped through the door, but when I came back, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember looking down on myself to see if there was a body, but I know it was me. And when I stepped through the door, it was a room crowded with apparitions that I identify as angels. And I remember not speaking from my mouth, but just knowing that they were communicating with me. And I saw an apparition of my grandmother, my mother's mother, who passed on years ago. And I immediately felt safe. But also, while I was there, I didn't have any sense of time. I had absolutely no fear. I had no thought or worries of anything. It was as if I stepped into a bloody portal, a bubble or something that just immediately stripped away everything. And all I could feel was just this overwhelming, powerful love. You know what I mean? And I remember I was introduced to Archangel Raphael. And I was like, Archangel Raphael, I read about you. I see pictures of you. But that's not how you look. You know what I mean? And it was just apparitions of nothing but angels. And all I could feel was the most overwhelming love. And I remember, without speaking a word, now I am told that it is by way of, telepathy. Then I didn't know what the heck it was because I wasn't speaking words, but I could hear them. It was like they were inputting information in me and I would immediately respond, or I would think of a question and the answer was immediately there. That type of way. And I remember while I was there, I was taken to this room by Archangel Raphael. And I remember understanding that I was going to be seeing my life review. And that was weird. It was like a life review? Shit. I started to think how many things I may have done bad. I was like, I'm having a life review? I saw 3 things. 3 flashes. And they were, the first one, I remember, I think I was maybe about 5 years old. So the first life review I was shown, I was about 5 years old. And I saw a flash of my sister dressing me in this beautiful red dress. And what I found weird was I did not feel how I felt. The angel allowed me to feel how she felt. And I felt this overpouring of love. Listen, I've been with my sister forever. But when I was on the other side, I felt a love during that life review of her dressing me in that red dress that I've never felt. I've never felt that type of love in the earthly realms. It was so overwhelming. And as soon as I saw that, then that dissipated. And then the second one I saw was myself in high school, Ferncourt High School. And there was this guy, I remember in 7th grade. I was brought up just naive, and my mother brought me up, if you kiss a boy, you're going to be pregnant. So I'm this type of silly kid. And it was Valentine's Day, and he brought me a rose. And I was just in my naive, stupid self. Because when I was seeing the flashback, I had this thought of, oh no, because I knew what I did. And I saw myself telling him no, refusing the rose, and my friends were laughing. I won't call his name now because after the life review, I sought out to find him, and I found out that he transitioned years ago. And I tried to find peace with his spirit. But anyway, they allowed me to feel how he felt, and he felt so hurt, and I felt it. And that touched me. And the third thing that Archangel Raphael allowed me to see was myself in a supermarket. And I don't remember the damn supermarket, but it's a supermarket in Old Trias. And there was this old lady who couldn't pay for a bill, and I offered to pay her bill. And I felt how she felt. And as soon as I felt that, and I was like, after all the things, I was more like all the things I did in my lifetime, that's what I felt. And I was taken from that room, and then I was sitting, and there were just angels around me. And I had the knowing that in your life, what humans think matters doesn't. How you affect the lives of others around you as you have your life experience, that's what matters. For the humans who are here, who actualize hurt and negative energy and pain and atrocities, they will all have to face their own life reviews. And I had an understanding, so I don't need to judge anybody, because there was absolutely no judgment there. And I had this immediate knowing that everyone deals with their own shit. Everyone deals with their own stuff. So somebody who hurt me years ago, I don't need to carry that weight. Do you understand what I mean? For example, for me, I was going through a phase then too because of the pandemic, and I was at this low vibrational frequency where you don't have control over the things that you usually do, and you feel so depleted. See, when you entertain this type of energy, like a doomsday energy, oh my gosh, world is going to end, so many people are dying, it's so low vibrational. What your mind does is also attract to you every other memory that you've ever had that holds on to that same vibration, that holds on to that same emotion of hurt or disgust or shame or whatever you're feeling now. And during that time, during the pandemic, because I felt, like out of place, I also had to be dealing with abuse that I dealt with when I was about 13 years old, that I locked away and threw away the key for so many years. And the angels helped me to go through this. And I had so much hate in human form that if I didn't transition to spirit form, I wouldn't be able to transmute this hate and shame that I had for myself. And they allowed me to understand this one thing. And this is important for everyone who's going through any kind of trauma to understand what they taught me. Listen up. Just because somebody did something to hurt you at any point in your life, the key always as you go through it is not to hold on to the weight of that which they did. Because what they did is a karmic weight that they themselves will have to deal with. It is not for you to judge them. It's for you to find the best way moving forward to heal yourself and to reassess to see where has that experience now redirecting me to go. Is it that I'm now going to stand for my boundaries? Is it that now I'm never going to settle for less? Is it now that I'm going to speak my truth? Because for me, when I was abused at that age, I was living with a family member. And it was not a family member, it was somebody who was there. But I did not speak my truth because at the time, I think I was just afraid. People are always going to tell you things to be fearful. But I did not realize that I grew with this shame within myself, saying, you're dirty, you're not worth it. This person did this, but you allowed it because why did you not speak then? Because as you grow older and now you find your voice, you start to blame yourself to say, you should have spoke. You should have said something. And what you don't understand is this, it puts such a weight on you that it still has you in this revolving cycle of not seriously speaking your truth as you grow into an adult. And man, the angels allowed me to transmute all of that anger and all of that trauma to love. I couldn't do it here. I was bitter, I was angry about it, and people around me didn't even know. But I dealt with that during the bloody pandemic. The pandemic brought up a lot of old skeletons in, I think, everybody's lives. Because the pandemic, although everybody said it was crazy, it was a time that allowed you to reflect back at yourself, and the things that you really didn't like came out to play, believe me. So during my near-death experience, I understood how to deal with that, and I think that was the heaviest burden that I had at the time. And while I was there, I remember I wanted to know, so I don't understand. Okay, so God is this consciousness of love. Why is it that in the human flesh there's so much hate, there's so much pain, there's so much sickness, there's so much death? And there was just knowing immediately of not to judge that which the human part of me is saying, but to understand that it's from the mind construct why there is so disassociation to love here in the physical. And we are here to transmute everything, every experience we have back to love. We are the ones who choose to deal with things with hate, to hold on to trauma, to hold on to pain, and relive it over and over again. But we have a choice not to. And that is the earth experience. The life that we're living now as spirits, we're in this bodysuit. We have a choice how we want to experience this life. If we want to hold on to the stories that say you have to struggle to make it in life, that is exactly what you are going to do. And I couldn't understand either. How is it that the Bible tells me that God also loves the person who commits murder and the person who does good, does charity? And then I was shown that everybody is the same. Everybody is a fractal of God. And these people who are doing these things, that is their choice to do it. And God allows them to do and to live their experience the way they're experiencing. And it's also for us to reflect on them and understand, are we going to be a vessel of God dealing with these individuals? Are we going to remain to be judgmental, to be hateful, or are we going to allow God to actualize what their judgment should be? Because we cannot judge them and actualize how their life is supposed to be. Are we going to add onto the negative, onto the darkness that they are, or are we going to input love into this atmosphere? And then when I saw that, this is what I saw. Do you remember